Alright, hello, we are live again. Sorry, yes, so we are live again. Welcome back to Upbeat Games, ladies and gentlemen. In this episode of Final Fantasy XIV, we're going to run some normal raids. So, like I introduced to all of us in the previous episodes, there are currently like these four normal raids. It's very interesting to run. So I'm actually going to run this normal raids as my sage, as a healer. We're actually running these normal raids. I'm going to briefly introduce to all of us how a sage is actually played in terms of running the normal dungeon. Yep, I have just again repaired all of my Gunbreaker's gears and the weapon. Alright, so to be able to queue in using the duty finder, I need to first change my character's job from Gunbreaker to Sage. It's here, and I'm very happy with my outfit, like the current outfit. Yeah, very good. Alright, so normal raids is like this. Like I explained it to all of us, I think in the previous episode. Right now, the items dropped from the normal raids it's actually are unlocked. So meaning we can actually go ahead to farm these like the raids and like acquire those items again and again. Those items can be exchanged to acquire, I think, 580 gears. But you can see, like for my sage, most of the item level are either at the 600 or 590, and I have actually had most of the 580 accessories, meaning I do not really need like other items. I'm actually doing this video, for fun, for sure, and also like to show you guys usually what I do after the game is reset. So I can actually select all these all of these four dungeons. And then let's see like which one the game randomly assigns me to. Alright, we got 5 minutes again before the normal raid starts. I'd like to just briefly talk about the normal raids again. So different from running the dungeons, the number of players are required to run each normal raid is 8. So there will be 2 tanks, as you can see. There are 2 tanks here, 2 healers, and 4 DPS. So that's the requirement. While waiting, what I can do is I can actually make some clothing by playing with my weaver. Okay, this is actually my weaver job, and I'm gonna open it's called the crafting log. So I'm going to open the crafting log. Right now, I'm actually trying to craft all of these items. You can see like each item there is a check mark, orange colored check mark. That means I have actually crafted this item already. So 1 to 5 level, it's all down. 6 to 10 level, I believe it's also down as well. And then onto the 11 to 15. So of course, like after crafting these items, I can sell them to actually make more gil. My goal now is actually to purchase a small house, so that's why I do need some gil. Right now, I have, I think, how much gil I have. I have to actually check my retainers. Retainer can be used as a bank. You can see right over there. Right now, I have 21 million, more than 21 million gils, which is actually more than enough for me to purchase a small house. But after purchasing the house, I still need to, purchase the decorations. So I need more and more money, and it's always fun to actually make money. But before even I can craft, you see like the duty finder is up, so we can actually go ahead to change my job back from a weaver to sage, to my actually disciple of magic job, and then jump right into the normal raid. The raid is actually the 3rd circle. It's one of the interesting ones. Okay, let's go ahead. different from a Savage raid. The normal raid is significantly easy, but some, I think at this point of the game, most players who actually play the normal raids, most of us should know the mechanics. Yeah, the opening is super cool. So 8 random players. Yep, and this is the boss, the Phoenix actually. There we go. I need to actually first, I think Ava will be our main tank. So I'm going to give him this buff. It's called the Cardian. Also, I'd like to focus on my main tank. So I can know, like, you know, what the shield. You see, I just gave the main tank a shield, which actually has 30 seconds. So once the shield is actually used, I can actually reapply that shield. So you see, like, it's done. And then, like, once the shield is actually down, there is actually the sound effect. This is actually a raid wide, so that's why not a raid wide, basically a mechanic. I found that sometimes some players still get hit by that mechanic, so that's why I gave the shield to all of the players. This is the raid wide. Oh, not a raid wide yet. Oh, sorry, live. That's actually the same mechanic, but another version. In normal or Savage fight, boss actually usually cast the same mechanic, but different versions. This is actually the raid wide. Yeah, so I just gave shield. Sage is actually considered as a shield hitter. This is a tank buster. You can see like both main tank and the off tank get the tank buster symbol. So I can also apply this debuff on boss. Okay, there are 4 Duck in the Fire. Boss actually placed, like, you know, I'm one of the players who actually get one of the rings. We need to actually cleanse these fires. Yep, it's actually all cleansed. Yeah, and then, like, I need to give my tank another shield. Yeah, boss, as you can see, the name of the mechanic is going to actually cleave the left side. Unfortunately, Machinist and the Reaper got hit. This is a dive bomb, so players need to actually spread apart and into the add phase. So I need to actually find one. Okay, it looks like the healer targets like there are 2 healers, right, and then 2 tanks. So you need to actually pull these 2 tanks apart. I mean, like, you know what, the tanks need to pull the small birds apart, and then each healer should focus on 1 tank. So it looks like my tank go this way. So these birds, it's like this. The adds cannot be killed together. If they are actually killed close to together, there's a wipe. The entire group will get a wipe. Yeah, so easily you actually killed all 4 small birds. This is actually a super heavy raid wide. You can see the casting is very slow. Yeah, I'm gonna use actually the heaviest healing damage from healing thing from the action from Sage. It's called the Pneuma. Okay, again I can actually apply this shield on my main tank. And maybe give another shield to off tank, since the off tank HP is not at 100%. Yeah, give the entire party the shield in case anybody gets hit. And in the meantime, do some damage to main boss. This is actually AOE, so again, like give shield to all of us. So healer uses the magic bar, which is actually the pink bar right beside the green HP. So you can see, like, you know, the pink bar is reduced, right, whenever I use some, like, the healing action. So I have to use Lucid Dreaming, which dramatically increases, like, replenish my magic bar. This is actually another mechanic. It's called the Devouring Brand. Just need to actually run into a corner, like a fortune. Players are supposed to stack, because the Searing Breeze will actually place an AoE. You see, like, the Searing Breeze targets all of the character, and then, like, you know, put the AoE right beneath, like, every character's feet. So easier way to actually do that mechanic is to stack together. Yeah, so another pinky AoE, keep all of my character, or as many as possible, the shield, and then shooting them up. Yeah, another, so this mechanic again, so usually just targets the second explosion. Easy dodge. So at this point you can see, if you pay attention to both main tank and off tank, they actually constantly receive damage, because the boss's auto attack targets both tanks. So by actually watching so far, I think you have figured out the raids. It's actually more intense, right? More intense than just a normal dungeon. The difficulty level in this game, it's like this: dungeon, and then the normal raid is actually more difficult than dungeon, and then the Savage raid is more difficult than the normal raid, and then the ultimate raid. Ultimate raid is actually the most difficult. You can actually imagine this way. It's the insanely difficult contents the Final Fantasy XIV can actually provide. I'll just say, like, you know, Final Fantasy XIV is a hard game. It's not easy. Don't think this is as like, you know, some easy game, which is not. Okay, so the Dark and Fire, Boss of Place, I think I need to cleanse one of the fire again. Yeah, there we go. The yellow bar, which actually my camera kind of, like, you know, hides behind it, that's called the limit break, LB. Limit break is actually accumulated by taking damage from a boss. You can see now limit break is actually filled up. So basically the DPS usually at this point, as long as the entire party is not actually damaged significantly. So the DPS should actually really use limit break at this point. No DPS has used this LB just yet. Limit break is actually abbreviated as a LB. Tank Buster can be called as a TB. It's too late to actually use the limit break, because the boss will the tank actually use the limit break, which is really unnecessary. Yeah, so I won't really comment like the last part when tank used the LB. So the limit break should be used by any DPS, which will kill the boss earlier. Then, like, the healer won't get hit, and the healer wouldn't have to die, and I wouldn't have to get hit. Okay, these are all of the loots dropped by defeating this boss. Right at this point, like, you know, every player can just easily farm these items. In the past, we can only just farm one item per each fight. So I can actually get more gauntlets of Asphodalos, since all of the other items I have now, you can see the number is more than 2. I can pass all of the other items. There's only one gauntlet, which is here. And I didn't get it, which is fine. Alright. So that's actually the... it's always fun to play as a healers. Okay, so we still have more time. I'm gonna actually run another normal raid. So let me just quickly repair my gears and the weapon. You can see, like, you know what, my gears and the weapon before I repaired them is at 99%. I didn't really have to. It's more just like a habit. I like to run into any, you know, fight with 100% gear. Alright, since we have actually run the third circle, I'm not going to select the third circle again. So deselect. And then the duty finder will actually randomly assign one of the 3 normal raids to me. So in the meantime, I can actually craft some items. Oh, there we go. Like, it's really fast. It's the fourth circle. Like I said earlier, after winning the fourth circle, not only I can actually farm one of the items, I can only receive a sword. Only defeating the fourth circle can players get a sword. This is a sword, which is actually automatically like, you know, given. And this sword cannot be farmed. This is the only item still locked by the game at this moment. As for Delos, the fourth circle, I think the boss looks like a Dracula. By far, this is actually the Savage version, the more difficult version of this fight. In my opinion, is the most interesting fight in the current tier. Okay, Logan should be our main tank. I'll just give Logan his thing. And a shield Logan, since that's the tank buster now. Setting the thing, this mechanic is very unique. The boss is actually going to divide the entire arena into 4 quadrants. This part is called the Pinax. The quadrant, it's actually a lightning, so meaning the mechanic originates from the center. It's actually a proximity-based mechanic. Basically, that means as long as I stay at the edge, any edge, I should be able to, not any edge, but the, you know, the edges which actually that the lightning quadrant does not cover, I should be able to survive that mechanic. And earlier, the mechanic you saw was the Raidway. It's called the Declaration. So the debuff I placed on boss almost expired, so I just placed another debuff. So the second element is water. So it's the water elements actually gives a knockback effect, but I have used my knockback immune. You see, like, you know, other players got knocked back except me because I used knockback immune. Now Skewer boss will actually randomly face one direction, and like the AoE effect on the ground, just easily dodge that. Elegant Evisceration is actually the tank buster. Again, like the debuff I gave to the boss expired, so just reapply that. And I can use my Lucid Dreaming to gain more MP. So in the arena, there is actually an extra element added. It's actually the bio, or the green colored elements. The bio, what the bio does is basically like the AoE, players are supposed to spread out. You see, like, even though I place myself next to the lightning, like, you know, as long as I stay away from the center, I still, you know, just survive that. Yeah, so this time I will get a knockback because my knockback immune shortcast is not back yet. It's still on cooldown. But I need to position myself right in the center of the arena because I do not want to get knocked into the wall, which actually cost me to die, cost a death. Yeah, I can reapply the shield onto tank. Another red white is called a blood ray. Reapply the debuff on boss. Yeah, very unique. I need to walk into this circle, which actually is not my role. It's like inside the circle, there's a shield, sword, and the healing indicator. And then there is an X mark, right? X mark, like, you know, in Western world meaning no. Sesame shift, just to run south, and the boss is actually holding his sword, meaning like he's gonna do this Kono AoE. You can see the Kono AoE covers, I would say, like, you know, 75% of the arena. So that's why I just have to run quickly. Easterly shift, yeah, go east, and then this time the boss is actually holding his cape, meaning he's going to do the knockback attack, which I just used on my knockback immune. You can see I didn't get knocked back. So pop my, this time I will get knocked back, but I'll go back to boss very fast, just like this, because I used a gap closer. So another blood rig, so that's another red white. Another unique mechanic, apply shield to all of my players first. Yeah, so I got a ball which chasing me, and you can see no one actually soaked the DPS ball, so I just sacrifice myself. Ideally, each player only soak one ball, but you know, as healer or tank, it's okay to actually soak more than one. If DPS soaks actually more than one ball, more likely they will die. You see the debuff, like the ball. I just get hit by 2 balls. The debuff is gone, and then, like, you know what, nothing happened. So another red white. The second shield I applied to the rest of the group has a regen R-E-G-E-N regen effect. So the fire quadrant, that means we have to stack up. So both healers, like the other, my co-healer, actually get targeted. So you see, like, the one of the tanks that use the that's the passage of arm. Yeah, I'll get knocked back because my knockback immunity is not up. Yeah, so the whole group will get the AoE, and then walk into one of the tower, which actually it's not my role. Machinist died. Quickly revive a machinist. Go to the edge of the arena since that's the lightning. Quickly run to north and then cape, and my knockback immune is up. You can see, like, there are so many things happening at the same time. That's why, you know what, running Savage is actually more intense than just doing a dungeon run. Again, you can see now the LB, like the limited break, is filled completely. So at this point, if I play as a DPS, I'll just use my LB3. So once the players get hit once, the shield is gone. So I just have to reapply the shield. Yeah, I died because I ate a healer ball. So not supposed to eat the same role like the ball. So my white magical healer, if that player is quick, like we're supposed to raise me, as that player just did, and I accepted a raise, and I can just easily heal myself. I would say it's too late to actually use the LB3. Reason being is LB3 was filled way earlier. So the DPS was supposed to use it, and then there will be a first bar LB3, like the first bar is called the LB1, can be filled up again. So that's actually the principle. But anyway, like, you know, I died, and then, like, you know, the rest of the party, I'll just give White Mage a commendation because they raised me. And yeah, I can actually try to get that Gauntlet again, and then pass all of the other items. Yeah, I didn't get it again, which is fine. Alright, so let's actually wrap up this episode of Final Fantasy XIV. In next episode, I'm going to run the remaining 2 normal raids. This time, probably I'm not going to play as either a tank or DPS, but I'll just play as one of my main jobs, either the Dragoon or Reaper. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Final Fantasy XIV. Have a nice day.